Welcome to Edit 695, February 15. And today I would like to, my first mission is to clarify all the questions coming my way. I realize that some of you are still struggling to figure out where to post and how to post and when to post. So I'm hoping that I will make as much clarification as possible tonight. And we will look at some of your projects. Especially I'm interested in talking about these parents who are not being involved. I keep reading people saying, oh, I work in the school districts and students never come. So that's my hope tonight, to be able to answer your questions and dialogue on the advocacy. And with that note, we have 8 people. And one confusing thing, I guess, over and over I heard is that when to attend these online Zoom sessions. There are so many of them listed. So as I realized tonight, many of you joined. Wednesday evening is the most popular. But there are also some... okay, if you have a background noise, do you mind just yourself? Thank you. Hi, Vincent. You're in dark.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. So, welcome.
Came here.
Who is that? All right.
If you can hear, that's my daughter.
Hi. What's your name?
Can you hear her? You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. You're being recorded.
Because you're not getting my birthday.
Whose birthday?
I'm gonna get, the channel's gonna get free.
Oh, wow. Enjoy.
Because Tina's got a cough.
Oh, now it's nice and bright. I can see your face. My name is Melda. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to meet you.
Because Tina's in the phone.
Yes, bye. Nice to meet you. So when you start and if you mute yourself, I appreciate it, because the background noise may prevent the good recording for the ones who are going to listen to the session. For those who are attending, thank you very much for being with us tonight. As I said, this is the most popular time, but I have also Wednesday mornings as well as rotating time Saturdays, morning or afternoon, to be able to accommodate the students as well as the time that is more preferred by you. All right. As everyone know, or maybe I'm meeting some new today, my name is Melda Yildiz, and this is my second time teaching this course. And I have a lot of examples. And today in the morning session, a couple of students requested some samples. So maybe I'll get you a recording of some samples, like how a task stream portfolio looks like. If you're interested in one-on-one dialogue, you can always set up a Zoom time with me, so I will go over with you where you need to post, what you need to post, and if you think that you have a question that you don't want to share with the whole group, you're more than welcome to set up a time with me so we can do your postings. All right. As I see most of the students are here, we can have a quick introduction. I had a chance to meet some of you last time, but some of you look very new. So if you don't mind just saying your name and one question you have for tonight. All right, let me shout out, start with Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan. My one question I think would just be about the e-portfolios. It's kind of confusing me a little bit because I keep reading about it in the syllabus, So I'm not sure if we're creating a different e-portfolio or just one and keep putting things into it. So that would be my question.
I think this is maybe 99.9% of the people's question. Okay, my quick answer, which I'm going to go in depth later, is I recommend having, this is optional. I'm not requiring, but I recommend having a professional portfolio created by you in, let's say, Wix or WordPress or Weebly or any other platform that you're comfortable with presenting. And then making a link to TaskStream as well as the Blackboard. So the reason why I'm saying this is that if you have one documentation, you have to put it in two places anyway. One is to get a grade, right? The things needs to be posted on the Blackboard to get you points, so that will turn into a 100% and then turns into A, right? So that's one goal. But there is another one that needs to be posted for TaskStream. It's exactly the same thing. Like you're writing a journal, and then some of those journals might be perfectly eligible to be an artifact for a TaskStream, right? So maybe that's needs to be posted there as well. So it makes it like, oh, I'm so confused. Where is my stuff? But if you have a portfolio of your own, then you can direct it any way you like. Again, it's up to you. I am not requiring, but if you have a professional portfolio, I have 3 examples today that I want to share if we have time. That really helps. That really kind of directs maneuvers through all these hurdles.
Right.
But one thing that's very clear, this course is not like requires you to create new things, but relooking at your work and finding the right connection to make those attachments work in the right place with the rationale that you add. So it is not, I have to tell you, you must be all pulling your hair. So I can see the tension. I can hear the tension through the emails. Some of you are already got so much frustrated. But again, that's not my intention. I'm trying to alleviate that as much as you can. So if you feel like it's becoming overwhelming or you are not so sure what's going on, I'd be more than happy to do one-on-one Zoom sessions to make sure you're on board.
All right. Thank you.
And the other thing, Ryan, you need to know, everybody has to be unique. The reason why I don't like TaskStream, which is actually for accreditation purposes, it is not, it want everyone to have a portfolio the same way and link to all these things. That's this same other method. That's why having your own portfolio with your own creativity is highly appreciated, but not mandated, because you have enough to do in this course.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Vincent? Okay. Do you want to unmute yourself? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Hi, how are you guys doing? Vincent, I caught the last bit. I got on a little late. It was a couple of weeks ago on the last one. So just an introduction. I'm over at Middletown, social studies, grade, history is what I teach. As far as any questions, I don't really have. I've been working a lot on the artifact is what I've been doing a lot of the work on. Just going to the ISTE standards for coaches and it's kind of like been a trip down memory lane for me, going through the artifacts and seeing all the stuff that I've created over the last 2 years, and you start to realize how much stuff you've done. So I really haven't had any questions about it. Just been finding the artifacts, trying to come up with, the rationale for why I'm choosing them and such. So that's been pretty straightforward process. I know after I get through that, I'm going to start to work on the test questions. So I haven't quite approached that yet. So I'm sure if I get to there, I might have some questions on that, but nothing really as of yet. So
Perfect.
Everything's been pretty smooth.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Who's next on the line? Michelle?
Hi, I'm Michelle. I teach preschool currently for UPK for Valley Central. When it comes to questions, I feel like I kind of found the assessments, what you sent, the articles. I didn't know where those were until you posted them in the discussion that we were doing on Journal 3. I didn't know where they were before the fact. So
Thank you for doing the detective work and finding them. Sorry for making it complicated. I don't know what happened when they were transferring my course from one shell to another. I had some mishaps, so I'm still fixing some things along the way. And every time you guys are giving me a feedback, I am trying to correct it right away. So with your help, it looks much, much better. So thank you for your sharp eyes and your feedback. And that always gets extra point, don't forget.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just remind me though, I may not remember your points later. All right, I'm actually putting everybody's name here. It's a very big crowd today. So
I'm sorry, I just missed her question about the week 3 journals. What was the question? Is it that the artifacts weren't there, that we had to look for them? Was that what you were pointing out? Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's where I didn't even know we had journals to read. So I had to, once we found them, then I picked an article and read it.
Okay, yeah. So that happened to me too. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I got it right. Thank you. Sorry about the interruption.
Not a problem. Do you want to go next?
Okay, fine. My name is Celinda. I was at the first Zoom session, so sorry if this is repetitive. I have been teaching for 6 years. I taught 3 years high school middle school ELA, language arts, and now I teach high school English. My question, I guess I have 2 questions. What I'm worried about when it comes to the rationales, I've done only one so far, and I don't really know how long it's supposed to be, how detailed it's supposed to be. Like, I remember writing just a couple of sentences as to how this fits the section that I was doing, but I didn't know if it was adequate. I submitted it on TaskStream, but I haven't seen feedback, but I haven't logged in either. I've been on Blackboard, but not TaskStream. And that's, yeah. Oh, and then today, so that's the first question. And then the second question was about this week's e-portfolio submission. I don't understand it, I guess, because I don't know what you mean by advocacy in MSIT courses. Like, I just don't get it.
All right, so we take a look at the discussion forum area for that. And for the first question, for TaskStream rationale, okay, so the quick answer is that short the better. So maybe I give a 250 words or less. So don't make it over 250. How's that? If you want some quantifiable number. But again, some rationales may need a little bit more detail, but some may be much shorter than you expect. And I truly believe that sometimes if you say 250, but people start writing just sentences over sentences means nothing. So what I recommend you do is just look at the rubric that comes with the rationale and try to use the wording in the rubric. Like in the rubric, it's let's say talking about the visionary stuff. So you need to elaborate on what is it that this artifact that you picked is showing your visionary skills. So you may use their wording back to the rationale, and that may give you a little start to finish the rest of the sentence.
So the rubric, is that in the syllabus, or is that
TaskStream?
Okay.
So do you when you click on it, do you see, because from my end I will see the rubric, and I'm assuming you must see it as well.
I don't remember seeing it, but I'll check again when I log on again.
There are 3, 4 different options. Like one is that rationale, and then right underneath there is another section, as I recall from last semester. But maybe what I'll do is that I'll do a little screencast on that one, just to show you from my end. I can record it to show you guys how it looks like from my end, because it has a rationale. It has rubric for each section, for rationale and for artifact. And yeah,
Okay.
I think that may give you some hint. Of course, it's all still up to how you think that specific standard fits into, or the element, the artifact that you picked, why you picked it. And you may pick the artifact next person will not ever think about picking, but the way that you put it in the rationale is make that difference.
Okay.
All right, the second question about the portfolio, we will look at, as I said, on the discussion forum area. And earlier I was trying to explain that, Ryan, that maybe you should have one portfolio you create for yourself, or you may have it already, and you link it to TaskStream. So in TaskStream, instead of attachment, right, all these PDF files or PowerPoints, you can just have a link to your website or portfolio space or Google Docs. So that make it much easier, because you need to probably, for me to give you the points, you need to put the same artifact into your Blackboard space. So in this case, you'll just one link to copy and paste in 2 different locations. So ePortfolio in this case is what you're creating for TaskStream. That gets you 30 points. Just putting things on TaskStream gets you 30 points. So 5 points for each standard. So we have 6 standards for EST coaching standards. For each standard posting, that's part of the portfolio, is your 30 points. And for each standard, you're probably picking, let's say, 6 artifacts, right? And sometimes the same artifact will be, this is another question came over and over. That's why I created now a frequently asked questions section, just to get me start thinking, because the same artifact can be used in 2 standards, but rationale will be different why you pick that artifact. So yeah, we will discuss more in detail.
I guess but that I wasn't worried about like where I'm posting it. I know that I'm only going to do the TaskStream one, but I guess it's the wording. I don't know it for week 3. Let me read it right off the syllabus. It says week 3 portfolio, identify advocacy, policy, and procedure activities in MSIT courses. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, do you want me to talk about, like, how my professor had me find a minority in science? Like, do you mean like that? Like, I'm not sure.
That sounds like, yeah, absolutely. Anything that will get us thinking about
mean by that?
All the stakeholders on the table. So how are you going to advocate a new technology?
Am I here?
I think she might be frozen.
Oh, okay.
Hello, technology, come back. Hello?
You've been out, like, I didn't hear any of your response. Like, it's totally blacked out, like you were frozen.
All right, I guess the internet is sleeping on us time to time. So what I was trying to say is that for advocacy, this is something that we put it in our journal section. I think week 2 or week 3, right? So it's not part of the portfolio per se. So, but you can use it, of course, later on for your TaskStream, the journal you write. But what I mean by advocacy is that you take any dialogue in your classroom from any technology piece you use, and how are you going to get it into all the dialogue among all the stakeholders, right? Why do we have to use technology? Needs to be advocated in the schools. Of course, most schools are saying, oh yes, we need more technology, but do you really need the latest version of that such and such software? Can you make things much cheaper or more cost effective, more easier, customizable? So how are you going to advocate that? How are you going to find allies in the school, from principals to parents to students? So you can talk about anything from diversity issues, absolutely, to any assistive technology issues, because students some students just getting that extra pencil that takes notes for them, right? They look like they're taking notes with a regular pen, but they're part of the mainstream classroom setting because that recording may be immediately transcribed into their computer. So when they go home, they will have something to read back to them. So what I'm trying to say is that anything and everything that you can advocate as a future technology leader, that will be appreciated in that week 3 dialogue. And then later on, you can use it part of your portfolio as well if you want to, if it fits, of course. Again, you need to look at what the task stream wants. We don't want more, we don't want less. We want exactly what task stream rubrics looks like so that you can all get your points, and it also gives us the continuous accreditation in this program to make sure that our students are up to par and they addressing all the standards in 6 standards in ISTE. All right, let's because we're going to go in deep, I'm sure, with next questions. Who's on the list next? Do I see B. Alderman? Is that Brittany?
Yep, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
I teach 3rd grade math at Presidential in Middletown. And my question had started off with TaskStream, but I think I had figured it out because we've been working in the 2016 and beyond. But then I realized we had to do the other program code that puts you into the practicum one. So that was kind of my question, and I think I figured it out and have it all sorted out now.
Perfect, because there are different, today actually I found that my morning students who are from Abu Dhabi, they actually signed up in a whole different place. They were confused, and when we looked at it on the screen, I said, oh, you need to sign up, and their practicum sign up is totally different code than this classroom, which wasn't on the screen, captured handouts that I attached. So they figured out this morning as well. So life is good once you know where you're going.
Yes, that was really the only question so far.
Perfect. Thank you so much for solving your own problem. Extra point.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have a question actually, just because you brought that up. So we're not supposed, I mean, maybe I'm totally off. I'm just getting so confused with the different directions that we're going. But so all my task stream things that I've done thus far are in this MS Technology 2016 beyond. That's not what we're putting into for this class. We're doing something different.
Yes, we have a new quiz.
Okay.
Let me just screen share. Maybe this is a good time to share my screen quickly.
I'm sorry, I keep like breaking up for me. I don't know if it's for everybody else, but it keeps breaking up for me.
I'm breaking up, and probably it's on screen share mode. 1 second. All right. If you go on the projects and activities, I posted a link to task stream instructions. So if you open up that instructions, it has this step-by-step guideline and the code name and everything. So it shows you, once you get in, there are different options.
Yeah, so I'm on the second option. I thought,
okay, so
because originally when I first started this program, like over a year ago, we were doing a different task stream thing, and then we moved to the Beyond. We all changed to the Beyond one, and now we're doing something different again.
this is, hold on. This is not me mandating. This has nothing to do with, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult on you. It's just that the code, okay, here it is. This is the one that you should be, MSIT Practicum Edit 695, and this is the program code.
Okay.
So that looks like this. That's probably maybe helped even Celinda's question. Maybe she's also on the other sections. That's why she cannot see all these tabs that has the rubrics. That's appropriate. The only
That code actually says, it doesn't say 2016 and beyond. It specifically says edit 695. So it's much clearer. Once you put that code in, it shows up as MSIT edit 695.
Okay. So make sure you all aware of this code. And if there's any name needs to be picked, make sure you pick my name here. The screencast shows another instructor as an example. So once you're on the same page, I think it's going to make it a little bit more easier, because the rubric's going to ask you exactly where you need to put, what you need to put, and how it needs to be assessed in terms of the rubric. All right. Is that Caitlin Flynn?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess I was just getting confused because on the one on the Task Stream and Beyond, there's still a folder.
Oh, well, that was the second part of the question I want to answer. Yes, this is like double making your work, and I realize you already posted all your work into one area, and now you have to shift and find and put and link. It's not as easy as I thought it would from your point of view, so I apologize. I guess the easiest way is to download as you need from whatever you have, and then relink it back to this particular portfolio area. Just posting it there, I'll give you 5 points. So I want you to make sure you understand there are two different things going on here. One is for accreditation purposes for Task Stream, and everything you post there will get you 5 points at each standard, okay? Even the rationale, let's say Celinda is so worried, she needs to put the best rationale. You don't have to put the best rationale, just put the okay rationale. And I will get back to you if I don't understand what you're talking about, so you can edit it. But don't focus on that part, because the grade is going to be on the other side, where you keep the dialogue with your peers. You post your other assignments, so it's only 30% of your grade. I just want to point that out one more time, so you don't feel stressed out writing these long rationale sentences. Okay. All right, where was I? I want to make sure. Oops. Whenever you move, this is the problem here. Come on. Okay. And then when we are here, let's just quickly look at the discussion board area. Okay. And in the discussion board area, you can also see I put some links, and this is the link that supposed to go to that assessment page that has all the videos, suggested articles to read. Again, one student today pointed out that Ruby Star didn't work, and I went in and it didn't work either. So I think their website has some issues today, but some of you successfully had a chance to post the Ruby Star already. But there are other options that I will give it to you if you cannot find exact thing you're looking for, because some of the links may have some problems. Again, for the global piece, when you get in, this is the week 4 coming up, and you'll have a chance to dialogue about, I guess, some of the focus and some links that I posted already. So you're welcome to read those, or you can Google yourself to find a lot of resources. Some of you already found amazing resources like Kidling or iEarn and Global Village projects. So again, this is the place that we dialogue with each other, and then we will share and get feedback on the resources. Every time you post something on the weekly discussions, I also give you one point. And sometimes I ask a question, why did you say that? So that would be a place for us to also check with each other and dialogue about the issues for that particular week. But that doesn't mean you cannot talk anything else that week. You can always talk about other relevant stuff, like how you are doing with your practicum that week. If you have any questions to the whole group, you're welcome to use the space. You also email me directly for your questions. You can always call or request a Skype connection or anything. So just don't feel you're alone. Your projects are collaborative. I'm here to lend my hand to you. Okay, so let's go to the next person. I need to stop sharing. I can see people. All right, who wants to go next? Yarlina, you seem to be the next on the line.
Hi, Professor. I've been sick like this whole week. My voice is still shot. But I've been with the flu. My kids, I tell them to like back it up because I haven't been sick like this since I was a little kid again. But I'm feeling a little bit better, hopefully. I've been trying to think about the different. You said the different artifacts for my practicum. So I've been really just looking back, like Vincent said, and thinking about everything that we've learned. I mean, we've learned a lot in the past 2 years, and just selecting those things that I do want to teach my colleagues at the same time. So that's what I'm working on right now. For questions, I'm pretty much set. I got to get on top of it. So I'm hopefully feeling stronger this week, and I'll get my stuff together.
Health comes first. When you're healthy, it will fall into its place. So good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're healing, but I also hear that to keep us all stay away from the little kids. We're not.
Oh my gosh.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Tough. It's tough.
Well, thank you so much, and please be well and keep in touch. All right, Caitlin Melcher.
Melcher, yep. I actually don't have any questions. Everyone's been asking good questions. But actually, what Caitlin had brought up earlier, she said that in the 2016 and beyond on TaskStream, there's that folder for our class. We have to post there and the other section, or just in the other section?
Just the other section, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's another great question to clarify, because I think this is one of the problems not being face-to-face, right? Sometimes when you're face-to-face or when you're sitting next to someone, you can whisper something and you can learn, but in this online setting, we just have to rely on good internet connection and good ears. And sometimes we get defocused because there's something going on in our families in the background, and you just miss the most important point. So thank you for asking all these clarity questions.
Thanks for clarifying.
Thank you. Shafak.
That was the same question that I was just about to ask her. So I'm so glad someone else is curious about it too.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
Hi. Your voice is coming from a distance.
Oh, I can sit up.
Can you get closer?
I can get closer, yes. Oh, because my mic's on the other one. Hold on.
That's okay.
That should be better. No, I'm okay. So poor Lina's over there with her cold and the flu. I fell down the steps on Saturday, and the first time I'm upright in like 48 hours. So I'm a little bit behind on this week. And so, coming into this meeting and hearing about all this, I just felt so overwhelmed. So I'm slowly getting things back together, climbing out of this pit of despair I've put myself in. And so other than, where I need to post things on a regular basis, I'm all caught up on that now. So I just, like I said, I was glad Caitlin had that question too, because I'm worried about having to post things in now 3 different spots, and I'm just
I'm so sorry about that. I think that's so, if anything, it will not help you. But today I was in a meeting with another colleague, and I said, why did they do this to these students? So I was your advocate, and because last semester I saw how much pain it was, and I can start to hear from you guys being all these like, where am I posting? I'm so confused, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because it is confusing. That's why I think attending the first couple of Zoom sessions is critical, just to make it clear, because after that you really do not need me. You need to just come and chat, and we can talk about our practicum experiences, how things went. So more fun coming. So hopefully today is the day that we get all the questions answered. So next time we meet, we'll talk about your explorations and experiential learning activities.
Well, between that and having a couple days off next week, I should be able to get where I need to be.
I am looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I just started being the chair because I was away for a semester and for my Fulbright in Azerbaijan. So I was teaching an online courses there, but I did not know so much about the university. So I'm getting training every day. Tomorrow I have another 2 hours of training. So I think in a couple of weeks I will have more freedom to be able to get back to you guys in more detail, maybe have more screencasts and more clarification. So thank you for your patience with me. Your emails, if I cannot get back to you in a timely fashion, if your email is below the 100, please, my apologies. Send another email. Do not hesitate. You're not bugging me. You're helping me, actually. Sometimes it's becoming overwhelming to start a new responsibilities to balance everything. So thank you for your patience in advance. All right, Shafak, I called you up, but then Lauren came in.
Yes. Hi, I'm Shafak Usut. I am a pre-K to 5th grade technology teacher in Brooklyn. My question mainly, well, it's not really a question. It's just a matter of figuring out where everything is. I know you have a Google page where we have all the links and everything. So it's like every week I'm like, okay, where's the Google page again? So it's like I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing everything. For example, for this week, there are 6 activities that are due today, the tic-tac-toe.
Hold on, Shafak, can I just clarify, please? 6 activities, you don't have to do them all. It's only 1 point. Remember, use your time efficiently. It's only 1 point you're getting for 6 activities. So that means those are all suggested activities for you to explore, and then you can just write. I saw your assignments as if like you were writing a 10% of your grade. Every journal has been coming like in nice formatting. Don't spend that much time, please.
Okay, I didn't realize that it was between the 6 activities was an option. So I'm gonna just choose my one and put it. Yes. But other than that, it's coming together.
At the end of the class, you want to go back and visit them, and that's fine. But again, I'm not here to put an extra burden on you. I'm just trying to showcase whatever I find I would like to share with you. So thank you very much for asking that question. So the biggest thing you should worry is your practicum. This course has a name called practicum, right? The next thing we need to do is seminar, which means you come back and you debrief, you tell me what went wrong, what you learned from it, what went right, and what you could do next. So those are the most important thing in this class. And your journals, you can share, ventilate, of course, you can write up, but you don't have to be perfect. So it's only 1 point for each journal. So use your time accordingly.
What activities is she talking about? I'm so lost. These were in the journal? This is a journal assignment?
Where she has the Google site.
Earlier I was screencasting. Let me just share the screen again.
I also did the 6 activities as well because I did not.
That means for next week you will do less to keep it up. So you'll say I've done enough. Give me a break. So I post the link here. So Linda, this is
yeah, I clicked on this, but when I looked at it, it was like pick one of these articles, read it. It was like articles on assessment, but I didn't see like tic-tac-toe.
Oh, that's probably one of the bottom ones. Yeah, the 6 tic-tac-toe model.
So how many of these are we required to do?
Again, I guess I need to, either you cannot hear me or I'm not clear. I'm really sorry. You could just pick one, or you just talk about assessment and homework in general. So it's not, it's only 1 point. So you don't have to watch all the videos, or you don't have to watch all the links. Just get a little feeling of it, what you could talk about as an assessment and homeworks. What's your philosophy on that? I've read so far. You could also look at what others wrote. Everybody did a great job so far. So if you want to take a look at some of the other ones that's posted, you will get it. Okay, it's repeating what I'm saying. Ugh. All right, is that okay? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, because I'm like, I feel like there's so many places to look and everything is so scattered, and I'm like entirely paranoid that I'm going to miss an assignment, something's going to happen, and
just chill. Okay, you're not missing anything. You're fine.
Great, thank you.
My pleasure. And they're all on the discussion forum with a link. So if you don't go to the link, but you just want to focus on the theme of the journal, it's fine as well. Those links are for you to explore more, go in depth, because I realized most of us, when you also had the chance to reflect back on our survey results, right? Somebody did a very good feedback, said, how come everybody who took an assessment course or must have taken an assessment course prior to this class, they're still saying, I'm not so sure about assessment. That's one of the reasons why I kind of put too much onto the assessment link. But for those who've done much, you can kind of get easy on the previous journals. Or if you really would like to come back to it, you're welcome to get back and read all the journals, all the links, all the resources. But as I said, Shafak, you can get easy on your beautiful journal.
I'll definitely ease up on it now that that's clear. I will definitely ease up. Thank you.
But you can put your energy back to your task stream items and rationale, and
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Who's next now? I don't want to jump the wrong place. Okay. Patrick. Oh, Patrick. Hi.
Hello.
I missed you last time, and I kept thinking, oh my God, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah, that was most of my questions have been addressed. My one question was just how the Zoom meetings worked. Were they mandatory? What was going on? So I don't really have any questions. I'm a technology coach at Middletown District. So I'm pretty good so far.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. Alyssa?
Hi. I'm a science teacher in Queens, my fifth year teaching. I think I just felt a little bit lost because I missed the first Zoom, and I also wasn't in the right task stream. So now those two things are clarified for me, and I think I just need to watch the first recording again and just do the task stream rationales. Are there specific due dates for those rationales?
You what? Say again.
Are there specific due dates for the rationales and task stream?
As I also said in my first Zoom meet, all these deadlines or all the due dates that's given, they're not deadlines.
Okay.
That's why I think I want to make sure, Selena, do not freak out if you see 15 or 50, the 22nd. It's always the latest deadline is on your advantage. Even if you cannot do it on the latest assignment and you still need time, and you know that the spring break is coming up and you want to pile up your work at that time, I'm not going to deduct points, period. Okay, so this course is not about finding mistakes or getting points off. It's about really scaffolding once more your, glaze it over your portfolio and graduate with flying colors. So I hope you don't stress out that you have enough to stress out, I'm sure, in your schools and your other things. This course is just to enjoy and celebrate all your work that you had done and try to put them in the right connection. If not, I will come back and say, Alyssa, I don't know why you put that artifact there. It didn't fit, or your rationale doesn't really explain. So I can come back to you if I see something that's off the chart. But so there's always a chance to redo things if need be. But most of the time, you guys will be on target. I think I will be learning much more from you. And you will be learning much more from your peers in this group. So thank you.
Okay.
All right, who am I missing now? Michael.
How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Not bad. Like the last few people, I don't have many questions. It's all kind of been answered. That's about it.
Life is good. All right. I'll ask you a question later. Okay, I will ask all of you questions later, because my biggest question is that how are we going to deal with these parents, right? How are we going to advocate more parents coming into teacher-parent conferences, right? Because when I hear you say, it sickens me, it gets me so sad, because I am one of those parents, right? I am one of those bad parents. You probably say bad, because I missed my most of my evening meetings because I may be teaching that night, or I have a meeting somewhere else, or I'm traveling to a conference. So I'm one of those bad parents who is not making all the meetings. So I will ask you guys later to help me out. How are we going to get those parents to be on board? How are we going to use technology to hopefully advocate more family connections? Thank you, sir. Chris. All right, no problem. We'll get back to you when you have a better internet connection. All right, Shanice.
Hi, I'm Shanice. This is my 4th year teaching at the Lab School of Finance and Technology. I currently teach math and computer science. All of my questions have been answered. I'm just looking forward to having next week off so I can fully engage and complete a lot of the assignments.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Chris is actually chatting with me to see if he can reply or ask questions through chat. Of course, you can always use the chat option if your internet is not allowing you to get the better bandwidth. Kelly.
Hi, I've been teaching at Goshen High School. I teach math there for grade 9 through 12. Just like everybody else has said, most of my questions have been answered. I'm glad you talked about Journal 3 because I started going through all the activities, but now I'm going to stop where I am and just post it, so that was beneficial. And then the only other thing, I think this was just a miscommunication before, but I heard you say we're posting on TaskStream, and then what we post on TaskStream goes on Blackboard, but only our journals are going on Blackboard, right? And all our artifacts go on TaskStream?
Excellent point. Let me get screen share again, because, hold on. Okay, Blackboard. Because for every single thing you have for this class, there's a place to post under projects and activities. So here's another excellent question, because everybody asks a very good question. And probably others are trying to figure out that one as well. So TaskStream instructions, we looked at it earlier. Come on, move. Practicum paperwork. So this is the paperwork that you need to fill out, right? So these are attachments. Weekly journals. This is where you post all your journals at the end for me under one place, because your journals in one in different folders for you to communicate, but later on you put your journal. So you click on this one, for instance. So it gets you 10 points by just posting all this is the last thing you do, so it's not like you have to do it. Either you need to, copy and paste or browse it as one documentation. All right, so this is one area for journal posting, right? The second one is for review of framework and design. That's another 10 points. So we're creating 2 to 3 questions for each standard. So it's like 6 times 3, 18. So between 10 to 20 questions, basically, that you're creating either in groups or by yourself. And there are different ways to post. And then you can also look at different options, how you can be part of this dialogue. And once you're done, you can either browse it again or put a link into a comment area. So if you created a Google Doc, Google Forum, you created any other platform, you can basically leave me a link here and then submit. So all of those links to the grade sheet, in that case, you will see your points at the end. Once you grade it, you will automatically see your under the grade center, right? You will see everybody's grade under the full grade center for me, and then for you under particular grading area. The next one is field experience reflections. So after spend 50 hours of working and filling out that form, you can come back and attach this form here. So that's your 20 points for having, again, not long. For maybe you spend 2 hours, you write 2 sentences, okay? So for 50 hours, we're not, I am not asking more than a page of reflection about your experience. And if your experience is somewhat similar, you can copy and paste. You've done the same thing. Let's say you've done 2 hours each week, and this is what repetition, it could be just copy and paste. Again, it's different for different people, but do not try to force yourself to write pages and pages long. There's an ePortfolio evaluation one. This is the one that, remember, you're posting it onto all the standards onto TaskStream. And if you can post either a link here for me, because you created a portfolio space that has that specific link, you can send a link, or you can explain and say, I posted my such and such artifacts in TaskStream. So that will alert me to seek for those artifacts that's posted in Blackboard, posted in TaskStream, so I can post your points here. So that will be part of your grade. Does that make sense? So let's say you posted your link, right? That has
post the link.
Artifacts. You have a question, someone?
I was just following up with my question.
Go ahead.
So can we just post our link to TaskStream there?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So we're not actually submitting all our artifacts individually on Blackboard. We can just submit our link to TaskStream here so we can get our points, basically.
Yes, here you can post the links. You don't have to upload anything, or unless you feel like, no, I need to browse my computer and upload my PDF because I don't know how to put a link up. That's fine. So this is where you post link artifacts, all the stuff, so I can give you all your 30 points. What I was going to say earlier is that on the TaskStream, if you're posting a link, just don't post me your portfolio's first page, right? You need to post the relevant link on that portfolio.
Okay.
Am I making sense? Because let's say you have millions of pages on your portfolio and you post me, here is my portfolio and all of the stuff is in my portfolio. That means I need to dig through to find something in that portfolio that's relevant to that artifact. So whatever the artifact is, that link to that artifact, it's in your portfolio may easily come as a link. Again, this is another place. Or you just don't post any artifacts here, but just alert me that all the artifacts posted in TaskStream under the right category. I just need to make sure this place alerts me that you deserve your 30 points. And
but we don't do that until the end, correct? Because if like we do one that's due February 22nd, you don't want us to post on the 22nd.
No.
Okay.
This is the end, just to make sure we put all your points. But there are students last semester finished every artifact by the first month and a half. and they had a chance to do it. So their portfolio evaluations, they're like, I want my grade. I said, then make sure that you tell me it so that I will not look for it at the end of the semester. So for those students, I just wanted to make sure they get their points early. So if that's what you want, I can immediately check and update your points. Because some students are worried that, you know, they want to just see 80% is done, so they know they only need to focus on the last project or last 10% of the work. All right, evidence and impact. Again, this is another link. If you click on it, this is some kind of a self-reflection that you write based on, again, what you had done with one student maybe, or one faculty. It could be a case study. It could be your own classroom. It could, like some of you are working as technology coaches already. So if you can provide some evidence of your leadership, it's another one pager. It's 10 points that will be again posted here as an attachment, or you can copy and paste it. So that will be also graded. All right. Right, the last one is presentation. Again, some people do their presentation through Prezi, some do it through their portfolio space. You just put a link or alert me that the presentation is done, or we can create a presentation space for everyone, which we did last semester. So here's another area that gives me 5 more points. And for this one, please, please, please make sure you are present on Zoom to be able to share with us in person. But last semester, one student had no chance of coming. In that case, we let the student to create some kind of a screencast, and we watched the screencast during the Zoom session. So opportunities are endless, but if you can come in person, we truly appreciate it. So that's another 5 points, and you're done with the class. So these are where you post all your stuff on the projects and activities. Is that, Kelly? That kind of gives you a long answer, but is it clear?
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Since I can't really see you closely to find out where you're at, or you truly understood what's going on, or you're still like, oh, let me turn off this computer and I can explore by myself, that's good. All right. Chris is back, and he wants to ask something. Oh, I see. Okay, we just wanted you to introduce yourself, Chris. Can you hear us now? You want to try? All right, maybe he's typing. Or maybe he can't hear me clearly. So I apologize for the connection. All right, let's read one message. Oh, all right. Bernie Knox, Westerlo. All right. See, most of those places means nothing to me yet because I moved to Long Island area recently. So I used to live in New Jersey. So I'm going to check this out. And I have actually an activity I always do with my students. I send map, and everybody puts themselves on the map. So maybe we'll do that activity next time. So it's called communitymap.com. So I will probably send one soon so we can all see each other where we're located in the world. And 4 students actually from Abu Dhabi. So that would be very interesting for us to see where we all are or where we're all coming from. All right. Are we ready to quickly discuss? Oh, no, we can't. It's 8 o'clock already. Sorry. When you have a big class, everybody had the chance to introduce themselves, right? All right, I think so. If not, please shout out if you have a question still dangling, because I guess we have no time to discuss the families. That makes us sick because they don't attend all the meetings that we want them to attend. But I just want you to think, when you get upset with a parent, I want you to think your Professor Melda, because all my life, I was so different until I have my children. I remember my first class teaching, and a student asked me, how much homework is fair? I said, oh, give as much as you can. You know, I never thought about it, right? So my child started that year kindergarten, and she got so much homework over homework. So I was like, what's going on? So I came to class 2 weeks after, and I said to students, no homework. I changed my mind. No homework. I don't want you to give any homework. So depending on, Shafak is laughing so hard. I don't hear it, but I see you. So that's what happens until you have your own child, until you start becoming in that role yourself. You really do not know what these parents are struggling for. Because the other problem, I'm just imagining these imaginary parents, right? Like in my case, I couldn't go certain time because I didn't have a babysitter for my young one, right? So how can I go? Or my car doesn't work, let's say. I had actually people I helped as they were Turkish Americans who needed translation, and their parents were, oh, there's one note here. I was sick for the week and I hate you this week. No problem, Chris. Don't worry. Take it easy. Our students come first. First our health, then our students, then I did 695. So you need to put your priorities in straight order, right? This class, I will wait until you all need time. So don't worry about deadlines or due dates. Try to do them as much as you can. If not, reach out to me and we'll find extension, or I'll find a way to help you. So don't worry. Yes, I hope you will have a voice next time with a big microphone. So make sure you'll shout out. You will have the biggest voice. So where was I with the parents again? I'm almost done. 1 year, a student I thought dropped the course because he came and presented this wonderful lesson plan, and he was so proud. And it was about volcanoes, right? And it was so good, like, and nothing was wrong until the end. So I asked the student as a question, so what would you do as a homework for this class? He immediately said, I'll ask my students to create a volcano, like those volcanoes that explode, right? So I said, no, don't do that. That means I have to go to Michael's. First, I need to find the right coupon. I have to go to Michael's, then I have to make it, then it has to explode. But then I turned back and I said, why you even do that? You're teaching the volcano rock formations, and you're asking them to do something, has nothing to do with rock formations of the volcano. So I started going on to this homework thing over and over from many angles. And then I said, what if the student who created this project, right, this volcano, how is that student who is coming with a bus going to carry that intact, right? It may, get messed up along the way, and the student is crying, and the parent is worried. So I started saying so much to the student. 2 weeks, I didn't see the student. I thought that he dropped out, but he told me he just got sick. So it was a regular flu, not because of my comments. But again, if you're a parent, you see things differently. But as a teacher, you have this wonderful idea, right? Everybody's exploding baking sodas with other stuff, right? But that's not really learning. It's just making the parents, run in the background and go crazy. But some parents like that. Don't misunderstand. There are some parents who are probably coming and telling you, why don't you give homework for my son, right? Some of them might be demanding homeworks, but just think about parents like Melda, who has almost no time for her children. Okay, I feel very guilty. Okay, now that I need to go over with and stop whining about a bad parent, because we all want to be the best parent we can, but sometimes there is a limit in our times, or in our gas budget, or our other children, or other responsibilities may prevent us becoming schools. And especially if you work in schools that has we call them pedagogy of poverty schools, right? They are the poverty impedes the learning because of so many other equations that we're not even aware of because we may not be living in those situations or experience those situations. So let's not say those parents sickens us. Let's say, how are we going to get to know those parents and have more better ways to reach them out? Oh, one more thing, before I forget. These parents may not come to these school gatherings because they may not speak the language, right? Or they may be afraid that they may be deported because there are parents who are illegal immigrants. So again, there may be so many variety of things that I think of that you might experience in the future. So again, Shafak, you opened my mouth, sorry. I hope you kind of...
It's just that I have parents who are constantly like, we don't ever want to see homework. No, I'm not having my child do your homework. And my homework for my upper grades is very simple. It's just your 15 minutes, practice your typing. I give them an account and they're just like, no. And I'm like, it's not like it's 30 pages of work. It's 15 minutes and it's educational. I mean, but they just refuse it. So I back off.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
Back up.
Unfortunately.
Right. And then find another sneaky way to come back and, and energize them. Hopefully they'll be excited to do some homework for you. All right. Sorry for taking more than
It's okay. I just want to let you know, I worked in a district where you weren't allowed to give homework at all.
Woohoo!
You weren't allowed to grade it at all. You could give it, but whether they did it or not, you couldn't grade them on it.
Uh-huh. Maybe I like that district.
No, when you teach math and they have to practice, no.
Actually, here's something. I want to give you an example. My son comes from school and he says, I want to do this extra think for math, some kind of a Khan Academy looking thing. So the teacher said, if you do this, then you don't have to do other homework. So the other homework is easier, but he's used to do this online modules that he likes to do. And I think that's another challenge. Like, that's why I put that link up for tic-tac-toe model, because it asks the teachers to think for the same project you're given. Can you make a chart, 9 grid, right? It's a tic-tac-toe model. You give it to them the Friday before for the next week, right? You will say on Friday, next week, Monday through Friday, you have these grid to work. You can pick any 3, either this way, this horizontal way, and sometimes they leave the middle empty so that they can pick their own activity that's relevant to that specific task. So they're working on volcanoes, right? It could be, they can write a poem about volcanoes, they can draw something. So it will all address the similar objectives, but the students will pick their own way of responding to that assignment. So that's, again, looks like the students have power over their homework. They can pick anything they want. So again, we need to be a little bit more creative in giving homeworks. As Alfie Kohn said, homeworks is not automatically also equalizer, right? Because if the student doesn't have the right technology at home to be able to type, or we don't know, right? It could be creating digital divide if we give assignments that require some special printing or going to Michael's for coupons. And anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here tonight, all of you. I want you to have a great time until we see each other in 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean if you like my dialogue and you have more questions, and I have a feeling Selena wants to stay a little bit longer today, just to maybe ask me clarification. So feel free to stay. I'm here. If not, go and enjoy the rest of the evening. Get ready for tomorrow's exciting day to teach. If you're not excited about teaching for tomorrow, that means there's something wrong. So we got to talk. I think our jobs are the most exhausting, but most fulfilling. So keep up the good work. And go enjoy. Life is good. Bye. Bye. And stay if you want to ask more questions. I'm here until you're all satisfied and happy and healthy.
I actually do have a question.
Go ahead, my dear. Caitlin.
So for the I'm looking at the I've logged into the task stream thing now.
You did. Good.
I'm sorry, like I might be repeating questions, but I just don't even
Not a
know.
problem. No,
how many
please.
different things get brought up.
Let's repeat them tonight so you'll be over with it.
Yeah, so the where it says your visionary leadership, like 1A, 1B, 1C, and even 1D, like I don't understand the differences in what are we submitting for every single one of those?
Unfortunately, I don't want to do it, but yes. So this is what happened last semester. I told the students this is so redundant, but that's the way whoever has designed this, because I don't have a power to change it right in the middle of everything. I just started, as I told you, being a chair. So for next semester, I know I need to cut down on those because it's also hard on me to look at all the students' artifacts. So the quick answer is yes, you have to post. But the good news is you may post the same artifact with different rationale.
So I think I need to speak to you separately about the artifacts because I had emailed you about like how really I'm ahead of class. I don't really.
Yes, that's you. Okay, because I have another Caitlin, so thank you very much for identifying that.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What do you mean by an artifact? Like I feel like that's a very big
So let's say for visionary leadership, it shows that you attended. Maybe this will help. Let me screen share. I'm working on the documentation to share with you guys, which is going to be part of the practicum. So this is still in the editing mode. So sorry about the quality, but let me just quickly share with you. Right, not this one. Okay, so these are some of the suggested practicum experiences as well as artifacts, right? So let's see what a student needs to show. Like these are all the standards. So student, for instance, needs to chair a professional development committee, assess the needs of the faculty, right? So if you've done such a thing in your school, so you led the people to first you analyze what the faculty did. This will not only get you practicum points, because in your practicum you'll say, I spent 2 hours chairing this committee and we discussed the technology needs of the faculty. This will give you practicum hours, right? It's one area. But at the same time, you will document this and you will say to me that, as you can see in this agenda, as I attach, I chair this committee, and here are the minutes, here are the agenda items that we discussed, and that will show your visionary leadership, right? Because in that agenda, or in the minutes, it may show that I point out certain technology, you found the needs and assessment is much more critical piece of professional development. So in this case, you might be double dipping because you haven't taken courses that gave you all these artifacts, right? You said you're 5 course short of class.
Yeah, like I'm taking 3 right now, and then I'm taking 2 in the beginning of the summer, and then I'm done. But
perfect. So maybe the worst case scenario, Caitlin, is that your portfolio items will be posted towards the end. So because in this 2 other courses, right, you may be getting some artifacts created for showing your visionary leadership.
So I guess my second question is, so like the thing that's the 2 things that are due on February 22nd, they're not actually due. Like you are kind of just doing it to keep us on task.
Correct. For especially you, I have an agreement with you that yes, I will be more than happy to take 1 month delays in everything, because I'm assuming you're also building your artifacts, and it's very hard for you not having all these 5 courses under your belt. So you have the most ambition to finish everything in within the summer. So I congratulate you for your ambition, but try to understand that this course is about finishing all your work and using them. So in this case, you're double dipping. You're creating at the same time you are adding your artifacts. So it'll be difficult, but as I said, I will give you enough time. The worst case scenario, I'll give you an incomplete. and you complete it with the other summer courses.
Okay, so then my second question was, actually, I totally forget now. I'm just like very overwhelmed.
Don't worry. I know you are. What you're doing is not easy, okay? So you took the challenge and you're gonna accomplish it. The only thing you need to do, don't get sick, all right? Things gonna work out. If you don't get sick, you still have plenty of time for catching up, so don't worry.
Okay.
All right, just
take
a deep breath. Take a deep breath. As long as you live, things will be fall into its place.
Yeah, I know. I gotta keep telling myself that.
All right, so think about your question while I'm going to the next person. So I know you need to read first.
Okay.
Shafak, you want to introduce our new youngest student in class?
This is my nephew, Lawrence. I'm babysitting tonight. My other nephew is walking around. Lawrence, say hi.
Hi.
Say marhaba.
Hi, marhaba.
No, he's a little shy. He was wondering who I was talking to.
But now you know. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Do you have a question now that's ready?
Is it okay if I ask or no?
Yes, you can.
I'm sorry. So, when it's broken up, we already did our journal on the philosophy and theory, like our revision. So that's what those broken up parts and task stream are. That's what that basically is, correct?
It is, yeah, not the first three ones, because the first three is assessment, advocacy, and your philosophy. It may be used some of the artifacts, but not exactly matching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
even in the visionary portion, like 1A through 1D, is that?
Yeah, you could take that.
Are those your artifacts, or is that you actually just typing up what your vision of whatever the requirement is? So, like, for example, like 1C, the requirement says candidates will advocate for policies, procedures, programs, and funding
so in that
strategies.
case, if you discussed it in the journal, you feel like that satisfies it, you could just take that journal and plug it into that artifact area. So your journal becomes your artifact.
So what's the difference between the requirement and then the rationale and reflection? That's what I'm not understanding.
So the requirement is whatever you're attaching, right? You're saying that here's the journal that I attached. And then the rationale is the reason why I attached this journal is because I talk about this and this and this in this journal that matches with that artifact. So you're trying to help the reader that why you picked that artifact. So rationale is...
That doesn't really need to be that long, does it? The rationale?
No, that's what I was pointing out earlier. Shorter.
Okay.
And in your case, I think you should just do the bare minimum now, right? And then glaze it over later as you're getting more sense of from two other courses, right? You're gonna come back and say, oh, I should, now in this course, now it makes sense. I have this one that I can now attach. So right now, if I were you, don't worry about the task stream so much. Just get the feeling of it. Just, set up the whole thing and try to think about where things might go, what you have done so far that may really fit. But then you can come back and say, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna put this new artifact I created in this new course. So that may come in handy. Just right now, in my opinion, just look over what may be the ones that you composed, but later on you can finish them all.
So that's what I'm getting confused. Like you're saying that there's really no due dates and like you can kind of do it at your own pace and you're kind of just saying those just to keep us on task. But is there something that I need to submit within the next like week and a half in order to get points? Because I don't know if a lot of people do, but like my school's off all next week and a lot of us, like I'm going away. So that's another thing. Like I'm just getting nervous because I'm trying to finish everything and I don't want to be there and I'm not even gonna have any type of, anything. So is there something due that will require points or like, is there not? Like I still am confused on that.
Yeah, there is, everything has a due date, right? For instance, the test that you're creating for New York State testing, that 10 to 20 questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Standard. Again, if you can't do it because you have a special reason, you can let me know. That's what I told the people. and your reason is not really justifiable. You're going away for a vacation. So that means you really need to finish that activity because it has nothing to do with posting an artifact, right? So put yourself into my shoe and then see which one do you think you should do first. So I cannot dictate you, right? But I'm not going to take points off if you just let me know you're going to come back and do it at this day. That's fine. You can make your own timeline, but it will also help me as a reader if I end up piling everything towards the end, which happened to be on the other course. At like 2-3 days, I couldn't even get out because my grade was due and everybody posting their stuff the last minute. It was really overwhelming. So I really appreciate having some pace for myself as well. So those 3 days not just help you, it also helps the reader on the other end.
Yeah. Okay, so then I can wait till after, because I still don't even know what I'm really looking at, and I'll probably need to spend more time. So I can wait till after, like, this week. I leave on Friday, and I don't get back to the following Saturday.
And then March 15, make sure you'll get one, the biggest thing, and always keep up with your journals, because in your journals, you're also dialoguing with your peers, right? So keep up with journals, and the first deadline is for the exam questions.
The journals I'm all on top of. That I can do no problem. The journals I'm ahead of the game. But it's just these bigger projects that I'm just getting more confused with that but I think this actually clears it up a little bit more, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you just need to put your mind into this nice, easy mood first. Take a sweat and rebrief when you come back. So do your best.
So does even if you're going to sit in on that doesn't account for those 50 hours that you're being a coach, correct? Like if you're going to sit in on an IEP meeting, that's a totally different thing.
You can sit in an IEP meeting, but if you're the chair of it and you write the minutes, you're the secretary, you have some role, and then you have an attachment to go along with it, yes. And somebody also has to sign up for it. So always think about, you've done an activity. Let's say you did a needs analysis for if this faculty needs this X, Y, and Z type of technology, right? So you send out a survey, you design a survey, you can use all these hours for designing and conducting and analyzing data. Let's say you've done 3 hours of work, but you need someone to sign up. So that means someone who's your superior knows that you invested this much energy because the school asked you to do so, right? Or you collaborated with that person in advance, so that person says, yep, she did it. Let me sign that 3 hours.
Okay. Okay. Great. That clears up a lot.
Professor, if we went to a professional development, all about technology, STEAM, would that count as part of our 50 hours? If I bring it back and present it, obviously.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
So if you attend it for 3 hours, you learn.
Thank you.
Good night, Caitlin. Thank you so much. And enjoy the break. If I don't see you,
I will. Thank you.
Get some pictures next time. Okay. So sorry about that. I think they told me not to give any students a waiver. And I think she begged too much and she convinced me so much she is independent, but then now I have second thoughts. No wonder why you don't want to give anyone a waiver, because if you don't take 5 courses, it's not easy to handle this course. All right. You can turn yourself on because it doesn't matter, I guess, at this point.
The kids, I don't want the noise cutting in.
But maybe I should stop the recording so that it doesn't record the back.